Witch Doctor.
A lot on it. It almost feels all-in-y to me.
Yeah, it really does. Ohio's going to be caught here by Puppey. There's pretty much no chance. In fact, if anything, Team Secret may be the ones in trouble. Ketchigimba actually completes his TP despite the fact that Arteezy's already gone for him. Big Nuke comes out and Arteezy drops low, but not low enough. Fnatic can't finish him up. And now with a couple more flat cannon shots, they're going to be forced back here. Ohio, who doesn't have mana. Mushi's here trying to trap Arteezy in. He eats his way through the trees, making a bit of a juke around, buys the rest of his items, and will end up going down to Ohio here. Oh, jeez, Ohio dropped pretty low, but Arteezy very obviously trapped due to good rotations out from Team Fnatic. And that's part of the advantage, right? When you put a little bit of all-in pressure. Earlier, managed to spot out the double smoke, but it looks like Kuro is still going to go down here. He pops the images, is able to dodge some damage, but not quite enough. He gets some good damage into Johnny, but it's still going to be a free pickoff for Fnatic, despite the fact that they scouted that one out. A bit curious. Maybe they thought...
General, like you grab Kuros' skin, you get a mechanism. Your hero's like the tankiest hero in all of Dota. And if you look at Fnatic, their sustained fight is actually not that strong.
Oh, catching out Ketchigimba from behind that tower. A four-man smoke is successful, but now Arteezy's been caught by at least that shackle shot plus the focus fire. Looks like Arteezy is going to be going down. He drops out the call down before he leaves, though. Mushi's going to be the target of the Viper. Unfortunately, the snowball unable to save him. Another hero goes down, and perhaps a third. It's Zai deep behind the tower. Bakuro with the clutch save there of the Song of Siren in order to reset the fight and make sure it's just a clean 2 for 2. So in the end, despite the fact that Fnatic were the ones surprised by that gank, and Doctor, who has a heal over time. So Fnatic are going to get into a fight here. The bottom lane, they've already actually retreated ahead of the Naga Siren sleep. Ketchigimba trying to get the TP out, does get revealed. Oh, the Song actually caught him there before the TP could complete, and Ketchigimba will be going down. But I would say Fnatic, that could have been so much worse. A quick retreat managed to make sure that they didn't get completely initiated on by the Kuro ultimate.
To build in favor of Secret, who are just all going for the late game, I feel. Like, just Arteezy will build towards a Satanic, and then top they actually get a pickoff.
That was a big burst of damage. Puppey's going to go down as well, it seems. Nice little double kill there for Ohio. And that's something really important, right? Fnatic, it's really bad that they gave up Roshan and gave up that Aegis, because it means that they can't force a fight, right?
So maybe this is the attempt at top.
The only potential bailout would be S4 as the Viper sitting farther down. Arteezy is going to be targeted here as he already takes some damage from KYXY. I think they're hoping to be able to burn that BKB already. KYXY S4 is now coming over as well. Zai, they're going to try and blow off Arteezy, but there goes the mech and actually keeps him alive. Enough time to be able to get down the call down, and he's not even going to go down. He's getting healed enough. He lives with just 20 HP. The Maledict is there. The BKB runs out at the last half second, and the Maledict will kill him in the end. So they actually do manage to pick him off because his Aegis expired there as the fight transgressed, but it was still a 3 loss there for Team Fnatic. Not really worth the 1 kill on Arteezy.
Yeah, they were trying to time that Aegis out, and with this ward, they didn't actually see them run through, but everyone was in position, and this might even mean that Mushi's dead. He doesn't have any defensive items. If he just gets ensnared with S4 in position, this should mean a death. He already recognizes that. He's just going to go for the tower, and he might actually get out. Oh!
No, the vacuum is there. Mushi now turns for the tower. He gets it in the end, so he gives up his life. That dying breath does get up that last shot. Meanwhile, Puppey goes for the tower of his own in the top lane. Does manage to snag it before Ketchigimba could hit the deny.
No vision from Fnatic, and they're rotating down this Queen of Pain, and KYXY is going to get spotted out by Puppey. And
Ohio, he did get spotted out now. He's going to try and make a snowball play, but it looks like he is stuck 100%. So Fnatic will lose their Tusk, who was getting himself quite a good amount of net worth, but will falter a bit more now. Team Secret, well set up, I think, to be able to take that tier 2 tower in the bottom lane.
Fnatic are going for the smoke round. They know that the entire team is there. This might actually be their best shot at winning a fight, but they have to do it quickly because Secret are beating on these tier 3s, and this might not even be an advantage because they'll have their own high ground.
Oh, they're going to go first for Kuro, immediately taking him out. There is going to be no Song of Siren to be able to save them, but already the response is there from Zai. 2-man vacuum while on top, both Ohio
this Death Ward, though.
Oh no, he's going to go down. The freezing field is being laid out. Death Ward, though, is focused on S4, but he's just too tanky. He doesn't care. He soaks up all the damage, and now here comes the buyback. Mushi is the first one. Tusk as well lays out his. They need more pickoffs. They need to be able to catch Team Secret, who are on the retreat now, but it doesn't look like they're going to find anything. So really, the only thing that Team Fnatic truly recover, unless Arteezy gets caught here, Ohio kind of playing a small game with him. But
decent scenario for them where they go for the Roshan.
Yeah.
But they have to get this. They can't really lose this fight or get caught out because both buybacks are on CD. Fnatic is getting quite low. Mushi's going to pop the win run and get out of here, but doesn't really look like Secret can continue to chase.
Ice Shards block him out. S4. Well, no, he gets back to his team. The mech and Team Fnatic are not going to try and go for that pickoff. It would have just put them in a bad position, committing a bit too heavily. So I like what they did there. I actually felt like, yeah, recovering the gem was not enough, but recovering the gem and then actually getting Roshan and picking up Aegis and not losing anybody after that, I think almost makes the buyback worth it. I think Fnatic are going to be very happy with the way that played out.
Yeah. I don't think you're happy with using buybacks. Because like if you lose this fight, then you're gonna lose so much. But
yeah,
it was like they made the best out of the bad situation. But Secret, I mean, they're just so dominant in their farm right now.
Nice Ice Shards. Arteezy stuck in a bad position, but there goes that Song of Siren. And Arteezy will be able to get away. He brought down 800 HP in such a short period of time. They're still going to have the ultimate from KYXY. Arteezy drops lower, but now here comes a vacuum call down. They're going to be able to catch one and a second as Aegis falls. Johnny, meanwhile, throws out that Death Ward, doing a good amount of damage, but it's still not enough to finish off any one hero. S4 on the front lines, Mushi is going to be forced to try and take him out. Great shackle shot that locks down S4. A bit longer, will be able to get that kill, but between the ensnare and the damage of Arteezy, the Wind Ranger falls once again. And Team Secret are now left with the predicament of whether or not they want to claim that melee ranks for their own.
Yeah, and I think the Queen of Pain is also still in the buyback gold penalty. She's not going to have buyback for another 7 minutes, so her dying here would effectively end the game for Fnatic. So they're just trying to scramble, stay alive whatever they can, but Arteezy, with the help of the Urn, is already at full HP. And that did look like a deceptively good fight for Fnatic because Arteezy dropped so low, S4 was already quite low, and you had the Aegis, but they're unable to capitalize, and Secret just outlasts them because of the amount of farm that they have.
Yep, Zai is always able to get great counter initiations, and Arteezy, even if he did drop to like 200 HP, it doesn't matter. Pops a flat cannon, is able to get all those shots off, and because of his significant amount of damage that he's rocking right now, it just is so much physical damage that Fnatic can't really recover from there. So 2 sets of Rex is the cost for Fnatic losing that team fight in the middle lane, and they continue to fall farther and farther behind team
buybacks where they really desperately need them because this is the game losing fight or winning fight potentially for them.
Mushi comes in from the side, hoping to be able to shackle both Arteezy and S4 together. Meanwhile, Johnny actually gets caught. He was hiding in a copse under trees, but Kuro managed to actually find him, and they take out Johnny, who's going to be a primary source of damage, or at least was supposed to be, for Team Fnatic. But now he's down for 45 seconds. Kuro pops the Song of Siren, leads with the ultimate, and is now just giving his time to complete Mega Creeps. That is an 8-second hold, and now Nagasiren, while she is very far forward and will be sacrificed, it does come at the cost of Mega Creeps, and a really bad fight for Team Fnatic as they still get vacuumed up. Wall call down, to the combination is just too much to handle. Team Fnatic, even underneath their fountain, don't stand a chance, and Team Secret will take game number 1.
Yeah, and this was just, it wasn't the flashiest victory, but it was just efficient by Secret. Like Fnatic, they had a pretty good idea of what they wanted to do. You could see that there was a game plan with the way that they built items and the way that they built their heroes, but it just didn't pan out for them because they lost early control so quickly, and they just weren't able to get any towers down. And I actually feel like Secret, there were a few slip-ups, but it didn't even end up mattering because their farm advantage was just so huge.
So Team Fnatic going to take some time to rethink perhaps their approach in game number 1. We'll be back after a short break.
Clinks.
You're going to see the TPs. Like, now that you force Fnatic down, then you force yourself down because you can't just leave Arteezy in a situation where he's one-on-one.
Ohio. He's going to be kind of caught here. Actually turns around to go for one of the last right clicks on a creep in order to heal himself up, but the last right click from Arteezy isn't quite enough. Zai does have another Ice Shards coming up in a second, but he just runs down the Bloodseeker, who actually kind of slowed himself down by running into those trees, and Zai is the one to pick up the first blood potion here sometime soon, because again, you don't want to leave yourself too low against that Bloodseeker. It makes this top lane all the harder than it already is for Team Secret.
I think S4 is going to get dived on right now.
Yep, Kuro's in some serious trouble. Tombstone Tombstone gets laid out. Ohio trying to go for that last right click. Kuro has nowhere to run to. In fact, they even have the dust. Arteezy's done for as well. Queen of Pain does manage to pick up the kill on S4, but Arteezy, yeah, he's going to be going down before that dust runs out. So 2 kills up in the top lane, plus they managed to take out S4 again in middle. You're absolutely right. They did dive S4. Bottom lane, Snowball actually dodges the first call down shot, but the second one still hits Zai. And KYXY picks up now a 5th kill for Fnatic. Fnatic striking back big time here in game number 2.
They're just rolling right now. Like, I was focused because he's just looking to snowball and get as far ahead as he can right now.
3-man smoke up, looking to catch somebody underneath that tower, and they'll find Kuro immediately. Similar situation to game number 1, except for the roles are completely reversed. Fnatic are the ones getting the successful smoking into that tier 1 and will now take it away from Team Secret.
What I'd like to see right now from Fnatic is just to continue the aggression. Like I said, the next target has to be this mid tower, right? You want to just completely open up the jungle if you're Fnatic, and what they're going for right now...
Oh no! Miss Sonic Wave! Mushi, uncharacteristic mistake from him, and it looks like he's going to pay for it. A blink is up. He will actually be able to make the turnaround here as the rest of the team comes in, controls the 2 attackers on Mushi. Tusk as well as the Razor. Now they're going to go for Kuro as well. Came in with the TP, but will immediately go down. Double kill for Mushi. 3 out from Team Secret, and that tier 1 tower is going to be forfeit.
Pace. Like I said in early game, and it was like 7-1 at 7 minutes.
Good silence to come out from Ohio, though. Perhaps this can set up Ohio to go for some kills. In fact, sure enough, he already stuns coming forward, but the blinding light is there, and Ohio immediately has to back himself away from that. Kuro, though, is going to be cleaned up now as Mushi comes in. They still brought a couple of heroes low. Team Secret are on the retreat back to their tier 2 tower, so 1-for-1 trade-off. Fnatic seemingly not going to back down from a fight just yet. They're going to keep on pushing forward. Still, though, they're pushing into a keeper of the light. No matter how far ahead they are, they do need to be careful of that constant pushback damage.
Yeah, that was a good
item being had by him just yet. Fnatic making invasion into the jungle are going to grab Zai immediately. He will be the first one out. Tombstone was laid down as well, so Team Secret need to try and get away from this one. Puppey couldn't even complete his TP out. Fnatic take out 2 and perhaps a 3rd. Yep, Clinks. He also falls. Mushi finds him, and that will be a 1-2-3 and push into tier 2 tower. Fnatic. It seems like we're just going to see a straight up GG soon.
Against. Like once there's 4 steps in the game and stuff like that, you can use the blinding light and just like triple men off. But
Mushi gets a 3-man Sonic Wave. The Snowball manages to save the Keeper of the Light for the time being, but it only provides a slight moratorium in his death.
Yeah, Fnatic, the crazy thing is they haven't even gone for Roshan. Like how often, actually they have, but
yeah,
it took them so long to do it originally that they don't even need it to go high ground is what I mean. Like this, it's pretty unnecessary at this point because...
Yeah, normally you would wait for the next Roshan before you try and push uphill, right? But Fnatic are just so far ahead, they're going to go uphill with the first Roshan.
Yeah, they're just, at this point, they don't really care. Like I think even without the Roshan, it's just absolutely securing it in S4. Last bastion of defense.
Yeah, he tries to back himself away, but he just runs himself to death with the Rupture on top. Gyrocopter secures that last hit. Kuro running forward straight into the Tombstone. Doesn't really care. Fnatic, though, very much focused on objective gaming. They've taken out the mid lane of Rax and immediately slide on up to the top lane, not wanting to give Team Secret any room to be able to make a comeback. So it seems, well, Team Secret, they're still going to try and fight this one out. They do not have the Razor. Clinks now has a Desolator ready to go, but the tier 3 tower is about to fall. Another blast gets laid out and does bring at least KYXY low. He still has that Aegis. Good to go, though. Zai going to be slowed down, actually forced to snowball there because he didn't want to get hit by the silence. S4 now come to the foray, the ultimate. And the pushback there is able to get the Gyrocopter down. S4 comes forward. They managed to clean up one already. S4 drops quite low, but they can't pursue him out. Fnatic are still healthy as a full 5-man crew and are able to finish up that melee at Rax. And seems like they're going to be able to stick around for the range Rax as well, as Team Secret only operating with 3 heroes right now. KYXY takes just 1 shot before immediately there's a response from Team Fnatic. Slow down Arteezy and make him asleep. The homing missile comes in, bonks him up, but Fnatic don't care. They've taken that second lane of Rax and will immediately back up to refuel and probably pick up a couple of items before they now go for Megas. Able to Glimmer back himself away. KYXY is going to respond, though. He's got his BKB, turns and fights the rest of the team. Good snowball out. Zai's just trying to get them away from that call down area, but Mushi cleans him up with a huge Sonic Wave. GG. Team Secret are done with this game. Incredibly one-sided win for Team Fnatic. Even more one-sided than our first game that went to Team Secret. Quite the weird event. Like, turn of events that just happens there, that Team Secret have such a dominant showing in game number 1, and that's sort of the way the storyline was meant to unfold, and then Fnatic strike back incredibly hard in game number 2 with just a really well put together draft, and the way they set up the laning phase seemed to be the most important thing.